Mr. Bill Mathers,
Here.
Todd Fisher,
Here.
Bobby Reynolds,
Here.
Chairman Ronald Rentschler,
Here.
Bill Barrett,
Here.
Debbie Powell,
Here.
and Liaison Commissioner Henderson. We have a quorum.
Okay. I need the approval of the minutes from the May 20th called meeting.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Passed. Any reports for committees, members, and staff?
No.
Okay. Any other old business?
No.
New business. Tonight, we will be hearing the request for variance for V 24-5 filed by Richard H. and Randy B. Ross, property located at 11616 Bain School Road, tax parcel 197-011-13. Variance request to allow the creation of a lot without public road frontage at less than the minimum 2-acre lot size requirement. Anyone who wants to testify or has any comments they need to make at this hearing need to come up and be sworn in. Anybody who wants to speak? Yeah. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. All right. Before you start, I'm going to give you an option. Because tonight's meeting, we have barely a quorum, which means it would have to be a unanimous vote for you to get your variance. You can either, we can proceed on tonight, or we can move this to next month. The choice is yours.
Well, I mean, and next month would be, the difference would be what? Explain that to me. What's,
It would take, because we only have a bare minimum quorum tonight, it would take a unanimous vote. Everybody would have to agree. One dissenting vote and your request is disapproved. So I'm going to give you the option, either we can proceed tonight and hope that you get what you're looking for, or if you want to delay it till next month.
Next month, it would take 2 descending.
Yeah.
thoughts?
How you feel? I had a good Monday already.
Let's do it. It is what it is.
All right.
You know, I'm assuming all of you read the variance, or the application, so
I'm
100
sorry,
years.
Mr. Ross, can you speak into the mic?
100 years worth of property lines and mess. So what you see, what we would like to do is the little square that's in the middle, we would like to add the 2 lines around it onto that piece of property, take the old Ross house off of the property with this, and there's another piece that comes out there. That is a piece of property Dad bought thinking it would suffice for whatever was needed to open up that property and split it anyway. So as you read, our grandparents moved here in the 30s and bought this farm. The driveway used to go right through the middle of the school, all the way up to the corner of Philadelphia. You can't even see it. Right up to the corner, right there across from that first drive on the right. No, let's back up just a little bit on the right. Right there. Our driveway used to come out right there when I was a kid. So the school initially bought that part from my grandparents, encompassing all the road frontage, because it wasn't a problem back then. Then my father wound up selling 8 acres off the back, which neither here nor there, because there was no road frontage to it. The school bought that as well. And the fact of the matter is, if they hadn't sold it, the school would have taken it. So, here we are, 100 years later. Dad didn't move forward with trying to get anything done with it. We're wondering what we can do with it and what makes sense to do with it. Adding more acreage to that lot could be done, but then you're messing with to me, it just doesn't make sense if we can't do two squares where the driveway is, where, the lot with the newer house on the right of it is just I don't know why we would take a corner out of a field to add that to it. It just, I'm looking at it logically and what would make sense. And to us, what makes sense to be able to more easily divide and complete estate distribution and things like that would be adding the 2 lines, because the one right-of-way was a right-of-way my grandmother had taken off when my father got the square, going back to the 8 acres that was sold to the last part that was sold to the school. And the back part was also, when my dad sold the school, he moved the property line back to give more space in the backyards to the 2 houses that are there. So here we sit with this dilemma and this property line issue, hoping that you guys, I'm sure you understand the dilemma. It's just that we've inherited something, we've got a problem with it. And now to figure out what makes sense and what to do with it. So, thoughts? I know there are other, the house at the end of the driveway was family also at one time. So, we're just asking for this variance. We need to add those 2 pieces around the square in the middle to the one house, try to get the old home place off on its separate lot and have this, to us, that's what makes sense if we can get that done.
Okay, so which one is the old home place?
Do I have a mouse? Can I operate this mouse?
Eric, try it.
Yes, this one's the old home place. This is the old farmhouse here.
Okay,
This was the house, was built in the 60s that I grew up in. And then later, Dad built this house. So when my grandparents gave my dad this property, my grandmother, they put this was an easement or a right-of-way that she was keeping just in case we came in through here, and this back 8 acres was sold to whomever, which is why that's separate. Then you've got this separate as well, because Dad backed this up when he sold the 8 acres there. So, sorry. I can't move anything. So, again, here, there's really wasn't easement until Dad bought that piece of property. So at this point, what do we do with it? How do we maneuver around and get something done with it so it makes sense at this point?
Just so I understand, could you take the mouse and basically outline each of the 3 parcels you're trying to keep, or how you're trying to do it?
Okay, what I want to do is add this.
That would be one parcel.
This would be one parcel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the second?
And then the old home place just comes straight from that point to this point, make this the second parcel and put the old home place there. If you're up that driveway, that's just what makes sense.
Okay.
And then, you've got the rest of this and the lot here, and that really probably should be on this, but.
Put it all together.
Here, there, yeah. So,
Okay, let me ask you a question. Why have you thought about making a 4th lot from, no, I don't want to do this.
from back here,
Move it over to the left where that point is.
where?
Yeah, come
Here.
right down the road to
Here.
right there. If you were to go straight across now,
Straight across here.
yeah, straight across there and have 4 lots. I mean, it's a
That would make
suggestion.
5 lots. Well,
No, if you take the
so
one up on the
2, 3, and 4 lots? I mean,
yeah,
another
and
lot
take-
here?
And take the one on the road,
We would love to do that.
no, but take the one on the road and make it part of the front one.
Make it part of the front one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just asking hypothetically.
And that's what I'm here for, is help us figure this out, because we don't, based on the new codes, cutting that off and making this a separate lot would be awesome.
Okay.
We'd love to do that,
But the
but
town ordinance says if it's landlocked, it has to be what, 2 acres? Is that the rule? Okay.
well, on this parcel, I believe it's 8 point something.
The whole thing is,
No. Who's moving me?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you.
Eight
That one
point
is
one.
8.11.
8.1, that's everything, that's the square around the little house, the old home place, and the new house with that. That's 8.11 acres.
Theoretically, if you drew that line across, you'd have at least 2 acres on the
Oh,
big two.
absolutely.
Okay. And so the only one we're really worried about are the 2 that are smaller.
That is our main goal, yes.
Okay.
But if you would let us split the other one, exactly like you're saying right there, there's more than 2 acres in that spot right there.
Okay. All right, and
That's
then
3.
theoretically,
3,
3.08 right there.
3 what?
3.8.
3.08.
okay.
3.08.
So
Does this board have that
how
right?
how much is in the front part of it?
Asking the town if this board has the ability
Take
to
the
do
front
that?
one
Are we
now.
just supposed to vote on this variance?
Yeah, take the front one and see how much square foot, or how much they've got there.
Front yard on that house is 2 acres.
Yeah, that should be more like 4.
That seems
Okay.
like a planning board thing.
would think.
So now we've got the 2, theoretically, the 2 smaller ones. How are those houses getting out to a road?
The driveway that you see with the end here, this
Okay,
is
it
this
goes
is
there and it comes out
here.
right through there, okay.
Yeah, through here, and this is property that a parcel that's owned as well. And again, we didn't make suggestions on how to split it up more, because we're just
No, I'm just
trying to
looking at it.
figure out the best way to split it up and get it on separate deeds.
Theoretically, the big 2 things shouldn't be a problem at all with the rules that we have. It's the 2 smaller ones
Yeah,
that we have to deal with.
Well, for easement lots, now, the code for easement lots is if you don't have road frontage and you create easement lots, you can have 4 maximum, but they have to be 2-acre tracts.
What size?
Say that again.
If you're creating new lots and they're easement lots, you
Right.
can have a total of 4, and they have to be 2 acres, the ones that do not have road frontage.
Okay. And let me ask you a question. Are there recorded easements on this property now?
Yes. Nope.
Okay, so theoretically, if they had an attorney record easements, all of these properties theoretically, even if they didn't do anything, would be okay taking it right out to the road, correct?
Say that one more time.
Okay. If they get an attorney to record an easement by each of these properties, and they take it out to the road on that small parcel, then theoretically, they do have recorded easements for the whole thing, correct?
Yeah, so if I understand that question, we would have nothing to do with easements. So if they hired an attorney and they created easements,
Okay, that would be fine.
his question is, he wanted to create a lot that is not 2 acres. It's one, I think he said it
No.
was 1 acre.
I
And
understand.
that's the variance.
That's
See,
all
I
we're
understand,
dealing
but
with. We
theoretically,
don't need to do this.
the 2 big ones already would be okay because they're more than 2 acres. So we're only really dealing with the other 2 smaller lots on the easement, correct?
I would not be I could be mistaken, but I believe there is a recorded easement on the Mecklenburg
Well, that's
County
okay. An
property.
attorney can find that
Yeah.
out. I'm just looking at that so that we understand that theoretically, we're not trying to
Yeah.
do the whole thing. We're only worried about those 2 lots on the
Mm-hmm.
left-hand side. And that's the variance you should be asking for, because the other 2 theoretically, I don't think would be a problem. I mean, based on the rules, okay?
Yeah, and that's why when I look at
Had
it,
anything like this before?
What's the parcel size behind 1970111? The old home place, what size parcel is that? Anybody know?
Oh, just
And
by
it's all part of
itself?
this.
By itself, just by itself.
Oh, by
Not,
itself.
not his The original farmhouse.
Original.
You're talking about this
Yes,
one, right?
yes. What's the size of that ballpark?
Don't know. It's part of the
Be honest with you.
8.11 acres, including the encompassed circle around the other house. That's all part of 8.11 acres. So, I mean,
Is the lot, let me ask you another question. Is the lot, the square in there, or rectangle, is that a recorded deed?
yes.
All right, so theoretically, if that's already recorded, we don't even have to argue about that, do we?
That was fine. That was, that's.
So the only one we've got to worry about is this last one,
The old home place.
the old home place.
The old home place.
How much
yeah.
square footage is there?
No idea.
1.154 acres,
All right, let me ask you a
roughly.
question. All right, can you theoretically measure the sides in the, around the upper and side of the
Easement?
one that's already deeded? I mean, those narrow pathways. Yeah. If you could go around that and see how much more acreage we've got.
You trying to make the 2-acre plot for the home place? That's what I thought.
Well, yeah, it's
But then
still
they
a
won't
problem
sell
though,
it.
isn't it?
No,
It's
that's
a
okay.
mess.
They're wanting to sell this.
Tried this exercise. I don't think we quite made it.
Okay, but let's see if we can.
Why don't we just vote on this?
How much is that right there? Okay.
.133.
What is it?
.133.
Okay. So let's do the upper part up there.
Just this,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
.143.
okay, so we're at basically about 1.5 acres, correct? Would that be about right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
1.
If you go back to the lot at 1.154, and you were to take a 1/2 acre off the bottom of it out onto the bigger lot, that would give you your 2 acres.
He may have to come off the top because that's right on the house in the back.
No, if you don't go all the way across, you just go maybe,
If you take the easement all the way out the road, consider that.
well, no, because then that lot would have to be the,
Discussion
Huh?
between someone who hasn't sworn in. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
You see what
We're
I'm
way
saying?
off of where the variance is, what we're here for. We've gone completely off, and you're giving options to what you can do.
Okay,
You got that easement lot that comes in off there, you can combine that with your big lot in there, which would give you some more acreage to mess with. You could do, there's a lot of different things that you could do.
yeah.
But the purpose of what we're here for tonight is for your variance request.
Okay, but I could see a way you could make it happen. That's just me, okay?
Okay.
I don't know if they're gonna want to continue. You know what I'm saying? Stress that.
That's what I was getting at before about continuing this, because you're gonna have to have a unanimous vote to get your variance that you're seeking out to get, but yet there's obviously some other options that you can look at and do to make this work out. And a lot of it, if I'm right, John, can be administratively done, some of it not.
Yeah, everything, including if you can figure out a way to make 2 acres, that doesn't require variance.
Yeah.
And all of it's administrative.
So you could do that, and you could combine that entry lot, which gives you your road frontage lot, into the big lot. Then you get your easement to the others. You could make that happen. So,
So let me make sure I understand what you're saying then. So if you're looking at combining this lot onto this lot
yep, include that
And
tax
then-
parcel with the big tax parcel.
and put this parcel with the big tax parcel. That's
Yep.
not, that we can do that. That's neither here nor there.
Then you make some moves with these other 2 parcels to get them to 2 acres.
Yeah, go down to the one you're in no, go back to that one.
This one.
Go over to the right corner. If you were to take that lot out just enough and come back down to the other lot, you'd get your 1/2 acre. And then you've got you've got all 4 lots.
So you're talking 1, 2, then we would have 1, 2, 3, 4 lots.
There you go. And they'd all be 2 acres and you wouldn't need a variance.
Could we build on this lot considering the circumstances, John?
No road,
The easement and the right of way and how many houses on a
You have to
driveway?
have an easement.
That's more.
there's no road frontage, right?
So 2 acres could. So all I would need would be 2 acres. So this, you're talking about putting this strip on the old house of some sort, some way.
Well,
Pull the old house out into the field.
Pulling the old out.
yeah, somewhere in
See, we were thinking, you guys, considering how many houses are on this driveway, we were led to believe that we wouldn't be able to
well,
put any more houses on the
right, we
driveway.
don't know if you can build on it because of the soil. You know, you're gonna have to have soil
Yeah.
tests to
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure it can build,
Yeah.
which you guys would know how to do. But what I would do is just angle it off a little bit, give you the half acre, and in all honesty, getting the right attorney to do all this, somebody to do it, you're gonna have to do, it's gonna be expensive to get the attorney to redraw it.
Well, oh, yeah,
But you
even
could
finding one, we've been looking for somebody that would even survey it because we were thinking, could we at least get this on here before even the variance
I
meeting?
would not touch the square one, because when you
Yeah.
do, then it's less than 2 acres.
This one?
Yeah, you're just gonna have to leave it like it is, because even if you add those 2, you won't be at 2 acres.
But we were led to believe that this wouldn't, these would not be a problem at all because you're just adding land to this.
Well, as long as it's,
So we were led to believe you
But
could
then
do,
you'd still need
these
the
2
variance.
is easy. We didn't even need a variance for that part. The variance we were asking was to get this one on its own deed.
that true?
Right.
He knows
right.
what he's talking about.
So you're right and he's right.
Okay,
Okay, so it's what we would call a non-conforming lot. because
Yeah.
It's not 2 acres. So what he cannot do, which is, I think is what you're speaking of,
Yeah.
he could not decrease that acre, so you can't.
Right, okay.
Decrease the non-conformity. But in his situation, what he wants to do is actually add land to it, so that could.
that can be done.
And that can be done administratively. It's the other part of his question, that's the cost.
That should solve everything you wanna do.
If we could get, and again, thank you. I know this has taken a lot of time and I apologize it's taken so much time, but this is 100 years worth of crap. It's just what Paw did. But yes, if we could split this 2 acres off and then add that, of course, I mean, we'd want to come back. I don't know, this is
you're gonna
getting
have
close to the back of that house.
Now, if you kinda go up about halfway to that little building.
This little building?
Yeah, go over to the land.
Yeah,
Now, start there
Mm-hmm.
and go across on an angle that gets you won't go all the way across.
Kind of
Kinda
go-
like just enough to get you that half acre.
yeah.
But you're gonna need a surveyor and an attorney to do that, and that'll be expensive. But it would work,
A lot of times that's better than coming here
yeah.
and this variance not being approved.
Yeah.
And
But
then you can't do anything.
But if the variance is not approved, he still has all that option.
Oh, yeah.
So we can, if we approve the variance, then he doesn't need to worry about this stuff.
I mean, that, and that's why I'm saying what made sense to us is looking at the property, adding this and adding that and being done with it. We've got 1, 2, 3 deeds, as we have 3 deeds now. There's a deed here, a deed there, and a deed there, and 3 parcels would still have 3 parcels and 3 deeds. It's just, we need to cut that line right there if we could to get that old house on its own place. I'm ecstatic to know that we have more options though.
Right.
Yeah.
Because initially we were thinking, well, we'd have to come out here and take a chunk out of this field to get 2 acres here, but that made no sense whatsoever because you come around here and you got
But you are gonna probably have to change the easement and get that recorded to make sure all 4 properties, or 3, whatever you use, get you there.
thank you.
That's the only, I don't see a problem with it myself based on what the rules are. But again, it's not my property either.
See, on the variances, though, let's put that line across there, and add that onto that, let's do that, we can do that. Leave the rest together,
But we don't need the variance to do what they're saying we need to do though.
now we have to start splitting and coming out in the field and everything else without the variance.
Yeah.
And, and from a value standpoint,
Have to do anything.
from a value standpoint, you're gonna want the fourth lot, because you might wanna build something
All
on
right.
it someday,
I'm gonna close off the discussion here,
okay?
and we need to go back to the original business, which is the variance. I gave you the option at the beginning of this. Did you want to put this off, or? And it sounds like you've got other options here that you can do, so the variance really doesn't make any difference, but we can go on ahead and act on it and do what we need to do.
Wait? No?
Go ahead and act on it, 'cause if it doesn't,
All right,
But if it's a no tonight, it's a firm no forever, right?
that's it.
Well, then you can do whatever he was suggesting.
Yeah. All right, so unnecessary hardships would result from the strict application of the ordinance. Ms. Powell?
Unnecessary hardships would result from the strict application of the ordinance. I will agree with the applicant that the inability to correct property lines prevents ease of distribution or sale of the inherited property, and the fact that ordinance have changed since the property was divided by the forced sale to Mecklenburg County.
I agree with that.
I agree.
I'm going to agree with that, too.
I agree with Ms. Powell.
I agree.
The hardship results as conditions that are peculiar to the property, such as location, size, or topography. Ms. Powell?
The hardship results from conditions that are peculiar. The hardship is unique in that it was created by the forced sale of the property to Mecklenburg County, giving Mecklenburg County all the road frontage, which created the hardship with the size and location of this property.
Agree.
I agree.
I agree, too.
I agree with Ms. Powell.
I agree.
The hardship does not result from actions taken by the applicant or the property owner. Ms. Powell?
The hardship did not result from actions taken by the applicant or the property owner. The hardship was the result of Mecklenburg County's desire to acquire the property for the purpose of building a school, leaving the property owner no choice.
Agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Agree with Ms. Powell.
Agree.
The requested variance is consistent with the spirit, purpose, and intent of the ordinance such that public safety is secured and substantial justice is achieved. Ms. Powell?
I agree with that comment, and in that the property owners would be subjected to more harm if the variance is not granted, and a variance would remedy the situation that was created on the forced sale of the property to Mecklenburg County.
100% agree.
Agree.
I agree.
Agree with Ms. Powell.
Agree.
Madam Secretary, would you call for a vote?
Yes, sir.
We haven't,
Oh, wait a minute, I'm ahead of myself. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve variance request V24-5 filed by Richard H. and Randy B. Ross, property located at 11616 Bain School Road, being tax parcel number 197-011-13, requesting a variance from section 6.1.22 lot design standards to allow the creation of a lot without public road frontage that is less than the minimum 2-acre lot size requirement. My motion to approve is for the following reasons. Unnecessary hardship would result from the strict application of the ordinance in that the inability to correct property lines prevents ease of distribution or sale of the inherited property. The hardship results from conditions that are peculiar to the property and that it was created by the forced sale of the property to Mecklenburg County, giving Mecklenburg County all the road frontage, which created the hardship with the size and location of this property. The hardship was not created by the property owner, but from Mecklenburg County's desire to acquire the property for the purpose of building a school, and a variance would keep with the spirit, purpose, and intent of the ordinance such that public safety is secured and substantial justice is achieved by creating a remedy on the hardship created with the forced sale of the property to Mecklenburg County.
I'll second that.
Madam Secretary, would you call for a vote?
Yes. Bill Barrett,
Approve.
Chairman Rensler,
Approved.
Bobby Reynolds,
I agree.
Todd Fisher,
Approve.
Bill Mathers.
Approve.
Unanimously approved.
That's why I was getting antsy.
I cannot describe the feeling I have right now. Thank you so much, because this was such a,
Your family deserves it, man. Been here a long time.
Variance request 24-5 filed by Richard H. and Randy B. Ross, property located at 11616 Bain School Road, tax parcel 197-011-13. Variance request to allow the creation of a lot without public road frontage that is less than the minimum 2-acre lot size requirement is approved. Any other business?
No.
Do I have a motion?
I move with adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Meeting adjourned.